Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to Motivational Mondays with CJ. To start today off, I would like to share that 33% of bosses know within 90 seconds if they're going to hire someone in an interview. So, obviously, today's topic is going to be on interviewing. Why not? We're getting close to the new year, new me. People are always making advances, whether it's currently in their position to different roles or whether they want to transition into a whole new field. So I'm going to give 12 tips on interviewing that are first, before, during, and after to help you guys try to get a leg up on your competition. These 12 tips came from a Forbes article that I read probably about a week or two ago. I'm going to just browse quickly through them. Of course, I'm going to leave the link below so you guys have a chance to click on it, read more detail, and kind of pursue whichever tip you feel is most useful to you. So to start it off, we're going to begin with researching. Number one piece of advice, research the company. Know whose walls you're in. Know whose building you're in. Get an idea of what's going on as far as with the employers. You can even get information on how they interview. You can research the earnings. You can see the reports. You can see blogs, and definitely take that time so you can get an idea of who you're going to be working for, because A, you don't want any surprises down the road, and B, it gives you a strong platform to walk in the door with your head held high when you know who you're interviewing for. And so the second tip would be Google Alerts. Utilize Google Alerts. You can keep up with the company news at your leisure. With this option, you can just have emails sent to you whenever the search term appears in any type of story. So that's a good benefit for you because you can just then check your email whenever and you can stay up to date on your company. You don't have to just be online as compared to researching that we began with. The next tip is to use Social Sweeper to clean up your social media. Social Sweeper is an app that I was reading about that was able to detect from profanity to your pictures. It will look for red Solo cups and all those other little things that we may forget. 91% of employers research for red flags on their interviewees, potential employees. And so you definitely want to try to take advantage of doing that sweep beforehand to try to pick out anything that could not show you in the best light. So just keep that in mind. The next tip, number 4, is schedule for Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. So I know you're probably thinking that's the most random time ever. But from the Forbes article, it suggests not taking bookends. You want to try to avoid those because if you think about it, end of the week, you're ready to get out of there. So your employer is not going to be probably thinking 100% giving you the attention that you deserve. Nor if you come in on Monday, it's like they have all these different emails and meetings and they're trying to get packed with everything they got to do in the week and they're coming from a great weekend or a bad weekend. So try to hit them midday, try to hit them middle of the week, and stay away from before lunch and after lunch for obvious reasons. Before lunch, they're hungry. You may not be their best friend, no matter how qualified you are. After lunch, they're a little stuffed. So they may be a little sleepy. Just think of these different things. If you have the options, just try to pursue something midweek, midday. You get the point. So number 5 is going to be craft your story statement to tell all about yourself. What influenced you? What are you passionate about? You know, they always give you that moment of, well, tell me about yourself. So take the time to just write it out, read it aloud, share it with a friend or family member, and see if it's intriguing, see if it's typical, see if it's dry. Sometimes, you know, it looks good, you know it's good, but it may not come off the strongest way possible. So just take the time to know that it's going to come. So take the time to take care of that. Try to do a subtle fashion statement. I say try to because don't come in there completely voguing and all that other stuff, you know. Just do something subtle. You know, a bow tie, a bracelet from maybe a trip from India, or a pin from your sorority fraternity. You know, something that could be a conversation starter. It's up to your discretion based off what you're involved in, what's your extracurriculars to try and share something that will make yourself look good compared to competition. So it's number 6, wear a subtle fashion statement. Number 7 is prepare for the what's your weakness question. I'm a big one for this. I'm always happy to go there because I prep with that every time. You want to try to share something in a positive light, and you don't want to stutter too much on it because it just shows that you're doubting yourself. So, something I'll always say is that I'm very hard on myself. I'm a multitasker. So that can be a weakness because I start things and sometimes I misprioritize. You want to talk about something that's good that you're working on and always end with like, it's something that I've learned from, I'm progressing with, I've identified it, and I'm progressing to fix it. So that always looks good to show that you can admit your weakness, you're progressing, you have a plan to work forward, and that's pretty much what they want to hear. They just don't want to hear like, oh, I always show up late. Yep. Like, that is not good. That is not how that question is supposed to go. Don't fall for the trap. So we'll move on to number 8. It says prepare 3-part: problem, action, result. So for example, I used to be an orientation leader in college, so I would always bring up the scenario of the time we were stuffing packets and we didn't do it the year before, so we were just sitting there complaining after a while, and those packets slowly, it took longer and longer to fill them up. And I started being like, okay, we had new management, so I was like, listen, we're going to take all day getting this done, so why don't I go in there, speak to her, and let's try to just clear this miscommunication up. Even if it doesn't change, at least you guys were heard. I'm tired of hearing about it. So I went in there with my team, spoke on our behalf. She had no idea. She was completely clueless to it. So from there, she was enlightened. We talked about it, and the problem was fixed. We found a solution where we didn't feel like we were being overworked. People felt heard, and we were able to progress more positive, and there was a clear door of communication opened. So from there, I share that story to show that I'm proactive. It shows my leadership skills. So think of those different scenarios because we've all had those moments where we shine so bright and we took initiative from an issue to create a result. So from there, that's where you'll pretty much hear it. And whether it's paraphrased, switched around, it's going to happen. So just go ahead and prepare yourself and get ready to shine. The next 9 number tip is think aloud on analytical questions. You want to talk through your thinking and not just give an answer, but show how you got there. Also, no one wants that awkward silence where you're just sitting there. Well, no. Don't do the drag on noises. Just try to walk it through. Well, if there's 14 school buses and Tommy and Jimmy hop on the bus, then there's 7 seats left. Well, then I think the bus driver is 42 years old. Talk them through it to show that you're analyzing the situation. Of course, I freestyled that thing, so don't start doing the math and talk about me. Math was not a good point for me. Just saying. Moving forward, we want to think about asking questions that kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You want to ask something genuinely, but also convey something new about yourself. For example, you could say, in my former position, I worked at Habitat for Humanity quarterly. Is this a option I'll have for volunteering in this new role? So that shows something new about yourself, but it also is a genuine question, so it doesn't look like you're trying to be too flashy and keep bragging about yourself, though you are something to brag about, but you got to find a smooth way to do it. So try to kill 2 birds with 1 stone by using that technique. Number 11 is grow a backbone and ask the final question. Go hard. Sometimes it's better to just call out the elephant in the room. That's why you have that snazzy outfit on. You've been standing up so tall. You've been smiling and laughing. Ma'am, sir, have I given you any reason to doubt that I'm 110% the woman or man for this position? Just go ahead and ask them. You want to know. You want to show that confidence, that boldness to just hit the nail on the head. I think I'm the bomb. I just want to know, have I given you any reason why I'm not the bomb? So just call it out. And then the final 12th step is to write a thank you note. You want to go ahead and email them, or you can send it to them. A thank you note within 24 hours of your interview, just to show maturity, respect, and professionalism. you want to just try to let them know, I appreciate being considered for this position. It's meant a lot to me for XYZ. You were amazing to me for whatever reason. And please think of me in the near future for whatever. Just try to write something that brings up the conversation that you guys might have had that's genuine, that just shows how much of a professional you are, no matter what. And that's the final tip. So, like I said, you can feel free to click on the link, browse through the actual article yourself, and let me know some different tips of what you would like to hear for my next vlog. Thank you for tuning in, and good luck to all my interviewers. And make sure that you take advantage of that time before, that time in that seat, and make sure you walk out with your head held high. Good luck to everyone, and thank you again for tuning in.